Welcome to Wide Aware. And today I have Rosanna
Agudo,
from Basque Country, Spain.
Spain.
And we have her today in Auroville, and we just recently got over Auroville's birthday, this day before.
Yeah.
So glad to have you here during this special time.
Yeah, for me it's very important every year to come here and be invited somehow to this special day. Yeah.
Okay, today I met her and I wanted to know a little bit about how she perceives what's happening in Auroville from that far, from Europe, and what are the things that reach her. And so I'm just curious, I'm intrigued by how you see Auroville's progress from Europe.
Yeah.
And if you can a little bit give a little outlook, what you hear, and we will keep it conversational, we'll see how it leads.
Yeah. Well, I've been coming here to Auroville since 25 years.
25 years, since 2000.
Yeah. This is a long time, and to see how the development of the city was very slow, very slow. And suddenly, I have the hope that something is happening now, and the city, because this is a city, wants to be at last, no? Wants to appear. So when this happened, everything happened with humans. When something so special is coming is going to manifest at last. So what I see is I see the confrontation, the fear of change, we humans, how we are accustomed to live in some way, and something is happening that are pushing us to move, to grow, and we rejected it. So this is very human. So this is what I'm seeing now. But what I see also is a light of hope. At last, this is going to be really the realization of the dream of the mother and the other window. The city or the town, the city, everybody wants would like to live in. So
I like the way you kind of phrased it also. You said you hear confrontation. And there are many who kind of have termed it as crisis of some sorts.
Yeah.
But I like what you're saying, it's confrontation, and it means a lot. Because it means that we are confronting something, a force, like you said, a force of change. And it is up to us, how do we react to it, right? And how do we respond to that? What has been your little bit perception in the last 3 years? As Auroville, how do you think we have responded to this confrontation or crisis, whatever you may name it? How do you think we have as residents fared? Have we been intelligent in dealing with this?
Yeah, well, I think that crisis is a blade of growth. So crisis is something good. I mean,
it's a catalyst.
It's something that we humans, we don't know how to transpass this, you know. So we confront, because the light and the power come in to be manifested is so strong, and we cannot cope with it, you know. So how we manage it? Confronting one to another. Yeah, and I think it's a lack of trust also between we humans. And at the same time, it's a lack of trust of what is going to manifest. And the words of Mother and Auroville, they said, it's already done. So we can confront it all we want, but the thing is coming, and it's going to be a reality. And this we can see it. Of course, it's going to be.
That's right. In a way, in a very practical sense also, in the last, even though we tried our best to prolong it, but even after 55 years, 56 years, 57th year this time, it is manifesting in some way. And the best way would be to use this opportunity or crisis as a way to progress and a little bit work with it rather than confront it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You also use this phrase that since 2000 you're seeing this slow progress, and I'm sure if you're coming to Auroville since 2000, I mean I think our master plan was approved in 99, 2000, so you know.
Yeah, I
right?
know. Yeah.
And perhaps in 2000 there was this hope, there was this new belief that in the new millennium we will go with a new energy, we will build the city. Perhaps there were those dreams. And how are you following up with that hope of manifesting the city? And then this 25 years of coming and going, how do you see Auroville progress and in relation to the city?
Yeah. Well, when I came here first, I saw a lot of, everything was very futurist. They want to be a university for the world, and everything was the energy was very light. You know, you could see the hope and this energy of development, of growth. But suddenly, I don't know how, this stopped. This is my perception, you know. And they thought, or maybe Auroville thought, I am going to say Auroville thought, some of the Aurovillians, that they want to be another thing. And I can say that it's like they forget, or they forgot the aim of the city. And because this is going to be a city, it's not going to be nothing else. It's going to be a city. And it's like they forget the aim. They forgot everything. They just wanted to do what they want to do, and what they are used to do, and the way they was living, and to continue with that. No, it's like, but this is very human also, to forget, to install in the customs in their day-to-day life.
Get used to the status quo.
Yeah. And so they forget. And this is I touch also. And then there is a reaction of the force again, because it wanted to be. And so it happened all this, you know, the COVID.
Right.
And suddenly India recognized especially the figure of Aurobindo.
Right.
And so his
and
force...
his 150th anniversary in 2022.
Yeah. And so this force came in with very, very strongly. So it's natural that everything is happening. It's natural because this is the force. And we cannot deny it. And we are afraid of that force.
Right.
We are afraid of the force, and at the same time we aspire for that force to come. So this is a confrontation also.
Right. We are in a way, we come across as confused bunch. We have this love-hate relationship. We want it, but we are afraid of it.
Yeah.
And we want to have little bit, not more, and it's that kind of thing. You said at some point you felt that there was this halting of the dream or a hope, that in 2000 there was the push in a way. And at some point, do you recall at what point you felt, oh, where is that idea of city that we were so hopeful? Where did it kind of suddenly went out? Or perhaps the other ideas came about, no?
Is
there do you recall any particular point?
Not any particular point, but I think there was a time when I came here because I had a company. And there was this meeting between people of any countries, with different ideas. It's called business and consciousness. It was very, very hopeful, because
and when was this?
And
when was this? In which year was this?
In which year?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's in the
2005. Okay.
Yeah.
That's 20 years ago.
Yeah, 20 years ago. And it was a great expansion, very, very, very impressive, very good. It was very, very hopeful for all of us.
Right.
Something really futurist, something really open was going here. and suddenly stop. I don't know how, I don't know in what moment, but it stopped. Yeah, this is my perception.
Yeah, and thank you for your perception, because your view is a little bit, I don't know about how generally the people who know about Auroville in Spain or in Europe view the development in Auroville, but what we hear is the report of AVI and some people who are very vocal about what's happening, and they seem to be a little bit, at least the ones that are organized, AVI USA or AVI Europe, France and Spain. There seems to be one narrative which has taken over, and they write letters, and I have critiqued it, and I've said that it's very one-sided. It's really harsh, and looking at things with a narrow mind. It's not kind of a broader view. It does not have a macro picture.
Yeah.
In fact, recently, about 2 weeks ago, we had a AVI meeting, and I attended it for 2 hours long, 2 hour long. They had all the presentations, but it did not have the depth. Even though you are saying it's your perception, it's beautiful that you can see through things even from far. How do you think you are in that space very unique, or is that a general perception and we don't get to hear those voices?
Well, I think it's all because of that fear we were talking before. If you think that you are right and only you are right, that's a problem. You have to listen because the truth has many faces.
That's right.
So I think these abbys international, they are not fulfilling their work, no? To be honestly show all the different perspective about the city, about the master plan, about everything in Auroville. So they mustn't confront more what is happening with the city and with the Aurovillians and even me. I'm coming every year, right. And I'm very much interested because I'm Aurovillian because of Auroville, not because I live in Auroville.
That's right.
It's very important to know that this is for the whole world.
Right.
It's not only for Aurovillians.
Absolutely.
And
so humanity as a whole, the charter says.
For humanity. And it's a privilege to live here.
Absolutely.
So I am.
And it's a responsibility.
It's a responsibility, and I ask for the responsibility of you, Aurovillians, because I want this to be for me, for my children, for my grandchildren. I want this to be the city.
The city of dawn, the city of the future, the city the earth needs.
Yeah.
And here we are talking about our own fears, little petty stories, our constraints. How do we go out of this? It almost feels like it's a stalemate. The many are taken by the narrative, and narrative sometimes in today's world we know how powerful it is. The stories are emotionally painted. And unfortunately, rather than looking at this opportunity, as you rightly said, as an opportunity to grow, to manifest, and to do what we are supposed to do, instead we have made this into us versus them, whoever that them is. We have made this into a some sort of a hero versus villain kind of story. We have made it into a city versus nature kind of story, as if you're wanting the city that the earth needs, as if it will destroy the planet, it's against nature, which I do not feel it is. So how do we get over this narrative? How do we calm those few people? I think it's few people who are driving it. It's not many. They see through the drama.
Yeah.
No, like you are seeing through the drama, what's happening.
Yeah.
But how do we break the narrative? How do we go out and say, because the people, I often speak to Aurovillians, I say, you know it, you see this, why don't you speak out? And then they say, this is not what we are here to do. We read Shri Aurobindo, we read Mother, and they have often reminded us to be calm, during this crisis, not respond to this like to and fro.
Yeah.
And just settle within yourself, find calm within. Which means the people who are creating the narrative, they have like a free pass. They do whatever they want.
Yeah, yeah,
No?
yeah.
How do we get over it?
Yeah, that's a problem.
That's a
Not
problem,
only
no?
here, no? It's in the whole world.
Right.
It's going like that.
Right.
You cannot confront with force, but sometimes it's necessary also. Sometimes you have to say what you have to say and stop this force somehow, because it's necessary. Because,
Thank you for saying this.
Yeah.
Do you think this is the time that we should say what we need to say? This is the time where we put our foot down and say, what, enough is enough?
Yeah.
Yeah? Time has come?
Yeah. Yeah. You have to say and stop this everything, because in every part of the confrontation there is a truth and there is not.
Right.
But we have to talk and see and stop something that is going, and we know it's only fear.
Absolutely.
It's just fear.
Yes.
Nothing else.
Yes. Fear of the unknown. We do not know how it would be, so we are only imagining the worst possible.
Fear to have not the truth, the whole truth.
Right. And how do you, what is the solution? In my view, the solution is to get new people to Auroville, to make it easier for them to adopt Auroville as a home, and to reach out to the world in a proactive way and talk about the purpose of Auroville, talk about the charter of Auroville, and see where there is alignment. I'm sure there are 50,000 souls in the world who are waiting to be connected.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the charter of Auroville is a charter for human beings.
For a human being, for the planet.
Yeah, for the planet. So I live in Bilbao.
Right.
And the charter is also for me.
Right.
I mean, if I want to be a human being living surrounded by another human being, I have to be like that.
Yes.
Yeah. Living in Auroville or whatever. That's important. This is a gift Mother gave us for all humans beings. Yeah? And the Auroville represents it. No, don't forget. Here it is the Matrimandir, and here it is the Matrimandir.
Right.
This is the visible representation of what is here inside.
Right.
And the charter is a visible representation of what is it in my. I have to be like that if I want to be a human being who deserves this opportunity to be beyond man.
Correct.
This is very important to know. I can live like an Aurovillian in my own town.
Absolutely. Rosanna, how do we reach, I see the AVIs also, sorry to put it this way, that it looks like a group from the 70s or 80s, that it was formed then.
Yeah.
Where are the young population in Europe? How do you, are you aware of any AVI initiative to reach out to the young, to a little bit? What's new there?
Nothing.
Because the more we are stuck with the old, the more will be the fear. If we have the practice of constantly having kind of a revolving door kind of policy where there is a new energy.
Yeah.
Because without that, we are stuck with a certain mindset, and more it gets calcified. Is this what is happening with little bit in Auroville and little bit in AVIs?
Yeah. Well, I think is for the young people, they don't need this AV whatever.
Yeah.
Because you have the internet and we can find a lot of information about Auroville and where to contact you and everything. So they have also to change a lot. Yeah, and see instead of talking only as Auroville as a very ecological place or something like that, they should say more about the aim,
the ideals of
the ideals, see Aurobindo and the mother in a simple way. It's not necessary to talk about avatars or something like that, But that there is a special place. Auroville was not just the founder. I mean, you cannot say that.
Right.
Okay, he was much more.
Right.
He was a human being, very, very special.
Yes.
It's not just the founder and the mother also.
Yes.
And we forget that. So we must talk about these great human beings that they brought these special ideas for us to grow and to do this transition in human state nowadays, because there is coming a very strong times. There is coming a new creation also. When they ask what do you think about the humanity, about it's a new creation, but if it's new, I don't know how it's going to be. I want to trust in whatever is going to be is good for us, and trust.
And we cannot be afraid of the new creation, and we become confrontational to the newness.
Yeah.
If we look at the idea of Auroville in general, it is, no doubt we have done immense contribution, great work in the ecological field. But like you rightly also said, that it should not be reduced to just selling the idea of just greenness. There are other big potential. For example, a new society, a collective. How do we live in a collective? How do we live in a diverse society, right? In peace.
In peace.
In accommodating each other's culture, preferences, various habits, behavior. That also, in my view, is a great experiment in Auroville. In very practical term, I'm saying. It's a great learning for various societies to see how can we live in a diverse. We are in Auroville, after all, 60 residents from 60 countries live here. It's not small. And art and culture. Are we giving enough exposure to the art and culture of Auroville and bringing that to outside? The third aspect is how do we organize ourselves? I think Mother has very uniquely given instructions and guidance on how do we organize ourselves, which is not based on numbers and politics. It's not at all. So it's again one more unique thing. And above all, I think the peace zone, the unity, the peace that we stand for, perhaps at this point, the way the world is going, the importance of Auroville is much more than just greenery.
Yeah, of course.
When Ukraine, Mother somewhere said that Auroville is there to stop the next world war.
Yeah.
It's that kind of grand plan for a new creation, for a new being.
Yeah.
And where are we present in that sense? No, is this can AVIs be that ambassador for Auroville in this positive sense, to amplify art and culture of Auroville, to amplify integral education in Europe, to amplify our economy? We have beautiful 700 units which are doing incredible work.
Yeah.
To amplify these things, then would there be much more dynamic relationship?
Yeah. Well, they have to change a lot, and change cause fear, and that's it. And two, the sense of we are losing something all the time, because this new creation is very difficult for us, because we all the time we are projecting the future,
right, with our limited understanding of today.
And because we are always referring to the past,
right?
We cannot see the new, never,
right?
Never. So this is very. Causes a lot of fear,
right?
No? But I think they have to change a lot, and they have to start communicating really the aim of Auroville and all the things and all the things this community has has done and trespassing along these 60 years.
Right.
That's a lot.
Yes.
The world has changed a lot.
Right.
So it's time for them to finish with this politics and do what they have to do.
Do the right thing.
Yeah, do the right thing. The right or what they have to do, what is necessary now, and think and go with people,
right.
and start really a conversation, and what we really need to do to transmit the aim and the necessity to have a city like Auroville.
Right. So in this regard, do you think would it help if Aurovillians, rather than relying on outside people who perhaps also do this part-time job, right? They are not full-time working in AVI, they all have their own work and they meet once in a while.
Yeah.
And it's a very limited time, so most of the time they're just they're reacting to what's happening in Auroville, talking about stories, and that's it.
Yeah.
So there's not enough time to reach out to universities, to young youth groups and things like that. Would it help if a bunch of Aurovillians, for example, in the case of Spain, if some Spaniards would come to whenever they come to Spain and they say, 3 days I dedicate to outreach. I will go to a few universities, I will hold some conferences, I will invite some non-profit organization, I will call some business leaders to talk about conscious economy, have some art exhibition, so that media covers it, and there is a positive information about Auroville.
Yeah, there is a lot of positive information about Auroville in all those years, and they are not explained, People needs to know what is going on here, but what is going on really here, not the confrontation,
all the negatives.
This is a very beautiful place where you can go and do whatever you want, because this is a great responsibility.
Right.
It's huge. I mean, where else can you create this with this aim? This is fantastic, and we have to show to the world, and with conference. I did in Bilbao 2 exhibitions about Auroville, and I would really like to do more of course, next week. I would like to. Yes, and
beautiful.
Express, but not the confrontation. Let's forget about politics.
Yes, I mean, if we have to look at negativities, I'm sure any day, any age, any decade, there will be something to cry about. I'm sure we can find reasons, right?
Yeah.
Even within this, if this kind of positive impact, positive interactions can be made, and then people, rather than looking at the stories and little bit gossips and the negative image, if they can look at the ideal of Auroville, the aim of Auroville, the purpose of Auroville, and then you cannot deny that there are many things which are aligned with that purpose.
Yeah.
There are so many positive things, right? And if you can amplify those beautiful stories, right, and then you attract beautiful energy also. You don't attract all the, even if it is, when you send that kind of negative energy, you attract that kind of people also. So if you can kind of create this positive narrative, I'm trying to see how do we go forward. What I'm trying to get from you is that we cannot also react to those stories. I want to see that positive thing out of those confrontation against the crisis. You see, I don't want to confront the confrontation. How do we move forward in the next, say, decade? In 4 years, we have Mother's 150th. Right. How do we go positively, if you have to say, a next 10-year plan?
Wow. That's a lot of time and a very short time at the same time.
Right.
I don't know. I think that we have to be more aware of what this place really means, and talk about that. Forget about all this politics and things. of course they are going. It's impossible. We are humans, and we do this, and we've been doing since we are here.
Right, that's right.
So this is important, but stop putting our attention in those things. That is very important, and see the aim, and see not only what we have already done, but what we are trying to manifest. This is very important, because we humans, I've done, this is already done, and this is what we want to do. This is our aspiration, and to express this aspiration is good for human. It's good to listen that people, we have hope, we have aspiration, and we have faith in everything is going to be okay, because it's already done. It's our heritage as human beings, and we are going to transpass all this nightmare we are in at this moment.
Yes, when you constantly talk about the old, what we have accomplished, then you're resting on your laurels, right? Then there is ego to it, no? And we need to, like you rightly said, we need to go beyond and see what we can do, what we could do if we come together. No? And the possibilities are immense, right? We are fully capable of manifesting what we are intended to do. After all, we all have chosen Auroville as our home intentionally. So we have that capacity, provided we come together, we leave our old habits. What message would you have for our AVI brothers and sisters who are, because it will mean...
Well, they have a very hard work to do.
You have a
very hard
work to do, long way to go perhaps.
Open mind. Times has changed. There are, IE, there are internet, and we are very much open. And they have the opportunity now to express and to tell to the world this magnificent charter from the mother, and say, this is the place where we are trying to manifest this. And this is what they have to communicate. And forget about politics and confrontation that only brings suffer to people. So for sure they have a lot of work to do, but to do this work they have to do, the inner work.
Yes, the inner work.
The inner work, for them.
Thank you, Rosanna. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you
and
so
next
much.
week we meet in Bilbao?
Yeah.
In the conference?
In the conference.
See you there.
Okay, thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you.